So we're not
I
used
think
to
there was
this.
one other meeting where it had to be.
Well, let's see, the meeting I came to, I think they actually, somebody. Well, not the audience, but.
Yeah, we don't have any alternate. Okay.
Close enough to 7 o'clock. I'm going to call to order the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for Thursday, December 11th. Can we do a roll call, please?
Chairman Milligan, Board Member Cook,
Here.
Board Member Lyons, Board Member Hawley,
Here.
Board Member Minrick.
Here. I'd like to make a motion to excuse board members Milligan and Lyons.
Second.
Roll call.
Board Member Hawley,
Yes.
Board Member Minrick,
Yes.
Board Member Cook.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Consideration for the approval of the November 13th, 2025 minutes as printed. Can I get a motion?
I'll
Oh,
motion
ma'am.
to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now is the time in the meeting for public comments. Public comments are asked to be limited to 3 minutes. Public comments are typically for things that are not on the agenda. So if there is something you'd like to say to the Zoning Board of Appeals that doesn't appear further on the agenda, you are welcome to come up to the podium. We do ask again that you keep your comments to 3 minutes and please speak into the microphone. Please state your name as well as your address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Mike Walker, 17555, excuse me, Mary Lane. And I'm here with Mr. Landy Furlow in support.
Good evening. Well, we've been up here before. This all began back in, pardon me? Oh, Landy Furlow, 17575 Mary Lane, my apologies. This all began back in April with the new build on the corner of Mary Lane, West Spring Lake Road. This is a Klingel property. And back in July 10th, after a couple of conversations with Mr. Bessinger, letter sent to him to get in compliance with a 35% hardscape. We came to the zoning board request. This was an after the fact variance. So everything that was built before he had any permission to do so, or any kind of a architectural contract for the differences that he made. The original request from the city, I think you got a copy of the original document that was approved by the city. And you can see with one of the copies there, you can see with the actual dimensions of what actually was done. He applied for the variance after the fact. All this stuff was, built without permission or without a variance request. So he came to the committee on July 10th to apply for that variance request, and it was denied. I apologize for being up here. We've been to a couple of council meetings too, and really hasn't gone anywhere. So all we ask is that possibly, if the city would take, the initiative to possibly do some measurements, because there's a lot of inconsistencies compared to what we pretty much know what the measurements were. Plus, if you look at some of the document that he presented for the Planning Commission, it doesn't show a playhouse and some other areas. They never did a perk test on AstroTurf or some of the other hardscape stone that he's got out there. So basically what we want to find out is this stuff permeable or not? And based upon the amount of square footage, is he in compliance with the 35%? Because the initial document showed him at 48.6%. He came in to apply for a variance, but he said that those three areas, the playhouse, the AstroTurf, and the hot tub were what he was looking for a variance on. And at that time, on July 10th, it was turned down and voted down by the zoning board. So we just want to know what the next step is. If there's any next step, are we preaching to the choir? But we don't want to be an aggravating part here because we're just residents on Murray Lane. Want to make sure that the right thing is being done.
Can we ask some questions, please?
Absolutely.
So my recollection is this body, maybe not the people up here, but they disapproved the after-the-fact zoning appeal that was filed sometime this summer. Is that correct? Mr. Klingel filed a ZBA appeal,
Right.
and we denied it.
Correct.
So it was thrown back to the zoning administrator, who's the enforcement body of the city. I believe there were some meetings of council you guys came to, and you complained that nothing was being done for enforcement purposes. Is that correct?
Well, I want to call it a complaint. I was just looking for some resolution.
Okay, and then Mr. Klingel appeared in front of the planning commission, asking for, if I recall correctly, some input as to whether a pervious driveway would count towards the lot coverage, and that body said yes.
Yes.
And so what you're asking tonight is for someone at the city to actually verify and go out on the property and measure the coverage of impervious surface. Is that correct?
Right. If you notice the square footage that he presented on his plan from the planning commission, he's got 3,135 square footage of his area covered by the house. Actually, if you look at the other document, it's 3,990 square feet. So we actually did some measurements on the street and on the sidewalk before the first meeting in July, and we came up with 3,770 square feet. And then he provided that document that shows 3,990 square feet of the footprint of the home. Now then you add the square footage of the AstroTurf, the playhouse that's not even mentioned in his planning commission copy. We don't know if the ground is impervious or not, but we like to, at some point, I have a perk test. But I want to go back. I don't want to take more time than I should here, but this should have been done a long time ago. My biggest complaint was at the August meeting when I came to the city council, was that this is going to drag into the winter. And here we are, and basically what he's done. And nothing against Mr. Klingel, because he's going to do what he feels right, okay? What I'm saying is that when you can keep coming back to the planning commission with irregular documents that aren't correct, okay, it just drags on and as time goes on. And I think what his plan is that we're going to sit here long enough to say, heck with it, let him do what he wants. But this is going to be something that's going to be looked at the city as I can get away with anything if I want, I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I'm going to cut
not
you off
trying to-
because it's been over 3 minutes. I guess what I would tell you is this board in front of you, we can't do anything unless someone files an appeal. So we can only vote on appeals. I think the best thing to do would be, you got to wait till spring. Unfortunately, I hear you. Government moves at a snail's pace sometimes. I think we need to wait for him to put in his driveway, and then you're going to have to work with zoning enforcement to figure out, did that get installed as per the specifications? And then at that point, what is the lot coverage? We can't do anything as the ZBA until if and when someone files an appeal. So it could be that Mr. Klingel puts that in, it doesn't meet the specifications, someone disagrees with zoning enforcement, which is Craig, and there's an appeal. At that point in time, we could hear another appeal pursuant to the property, but as of right now, the Zoning Board of Appeals can't do anything to help you except refer you to Mr. Bessinger for zoning enforcement.
Well, okay, well, we've done this many times. We've been down this road many times. And, you know, this is setting a precedent if this allows to go through, because if the city says in its ordinances and in the variance request that if you've created a problem, you can't apply for a variance. Well, this is after the fact. So he can't, initially, if you're going by your own ordinances, this was not even allowable.
After the fact, variances are allowed under state statute.
Okay. That answers my question. I'm a little bit shaky here because it's been
Yeah.
going on for a long time,
Yep.
so apologize if I'm stumbling a little bit.
No, you're fine. I appreciate public comment. I have actually seen you and others come to city council meetings. I would say, I think that there was a meeting between Mr. Klingel, Craig Bessinger, and the mayor not too long ago. I would, if I were you, I would look at the maps again, try to figure out what he submitted to the city. I think if you contact Craig, Craig can give you all the recent documentation as well as what the planning commission approved. And then we need to wait until all the snow melts to figure out what's underneath it in terms of being pervious or impervious. But again, the ZBA can't do anything unless there's an appeal.
Okay, based upon the zoning board ruling on the July 10th, whose responsibility is to follow through and make sure that he's in compliance?
That would be zoning enforcement, so Craig Bessinger. We do not have any authority to enforce the ordinances. So the ZBA that you're seeing up here tonight, our only duty and our scope is limited to the interpretation of the ordinances for the purpose of passing or denying zoning board appeals. That's all we can do.
One more question. Can I
Yep.
ask Craig a question?
You can ask after the meeting tonight if you stick around, but not right now, please.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments? Seeing none, we'll move on. This next agenda item, number 5, is a public hearing to consider a request filed by Tri-Cities Area Habitat for Humanity to construct a new house with a 28.1 rear yard setback, a variance from the zoning ordinance section 9.150. This is in reference to parcel number 70-03-16-165, commonly known as 17270 Lane Avenue. Public hearing is opening at 7:11 or 7:12 p.m. This is a time to come up if you have anything to say regarding the agenda item. Again, that is a variance requested at address 17270 Lane Avenue. I'm closing the public hearing at 7:13 and moving on to agenda item number 6, which is a motion to approve or not approve a request filed by Tri-Cities Area Habitat for Humanity to construct a new house with a 28.1-foot rear yard setback, a variance from the zoning ordinance section 9.150, parcel number 70-03-16-165, again commonly known as 17270. If there's anyone in the audience who can speak to the request, I would invite you to come up to the podium and use the microphone if you just want to talk about the project and why you feel a variance is necessary.
I'm with Habitat. My name's Tim Simpson.
Can
I
you use the
don't live-
microphone, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's Tim Simpson. I don't live in Ferrisburg. I know you still need my address?
No.
Okay. We need that in order to construct a house of the size needed for our clients. The area that's given after we get all the setbacks done is smaller than what we need to put the house up. And we would request a variance on the setback in order to fulfill that. building of the house.
How did you come to the house's footprint on the engineered drawing? Is this a house that you guys just have plans and people choose it?
The one on Lane?
This is the one on Lane Avenue,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, we have a house right now. What the family has requested as at least a 3-bedroom house. This footprint would give them that. Actually, this is the plan as we have it now. If you want to see it too, it's a 6-bedroom house. But it has no dining area and stuff like that, so we're gonna do some modifications within that footprint to meet their needs. But yeah, it was a plan that was pretty much chosen to try to meet the needs of the lot we have and also of the family that's gonna be in there, which, by the way, is a veteran.
Okay.
She is, I think she has 3 kids.
Did you receive a copy of our planning consultant's determination?
Yes,
Okay.
Yep.
Do you have any questions about that, sir?
I do not.
Would you like to say anything else about the application?
It was
you
just,
submitted?
it's a very generous gift from the Ferrisburg Community Church, and we would like to try to optimize it to its full potential to help the clients that we have.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to approve or deny the request for the 28.1 foot rear yard setback variance for 17270?
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve.
I'll
I don't have
support.
mine.
All right.
That's on 065, correct?
This is on parcel 700316100065, yes. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the Zoning Board of Appeals? I have a comment that I'll make, and it appears that your application addresses all 6 standards. So in order for us to approve anything that comes before us for a variance, it has to meet 6 different criteria. Your application, as far as I am concerned, as well as our planning consultant, it does meet all 6 standards. So my discussion item is I would actually approve this. I don't have any problems with it. I feel it's reasonable. It's a reasonable use of the property. Those lots have been vacant for at least 30 or 40 years. It would be great to see something there. Seeing no further discussion, roll call, please.
Board Member Menrick,
Yes.
Board Member Holly,
Yes,
Board Member Cook,
Yes. Do I
Motion.
need to read in the recommendation to the,
well, yeah, I think you kind of reviewed that when, in your comments. That it met all
Alright.
6 standards.
okay. Variance approved.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Appreciate it.
Next item, I assume you're also the applicant, so you can stand up there if you want. This is just a public hearing to consider a request, also filed by Tri-Cities Area Habitat for Humanity, to construct a new house on a lot right next to the one we just talked about. This house needs or is requesting a 4-foot rear yard setback, which is a variance from the zoning ordinance section 9.150, parcel number 700316-164, commonly known as 17495 Ridge Avenue. The public comment, again, is for anybody who can come up and just wants to say whether they like this idea or not. I'll ask during the public comment, have we received any other written public comment, Craig, besides a letter from the Ferrisburg Community Church in support of?
No written comments.
So it's customary and required that we notify all property owners within a certain area of the properties requesting a variance. And I'll just reiterate that we don't have anybody except the applicant and the Ferrisburg Community Church, Reverend Nate Visker, who has written in support. Very briefly, he just wrote he's in support of this request as well as the one we just passed. The church actually gifted the property to the Tri-Cities Habitat for Humanity. They would like their gift to benefit people who need housing, and this is to provide stable housing for 2 families in the community, and that's about it. Seeing no public comment, the public hearing opened at 7:19. I'm going to close the public hearing at 7:20 p.m. and move on to agenda item number 8, motion to approve or not approve a request filed by Tri-Cities Area Habitat for Humanity to construct a new house with a 4-foot rear yard setback, a variance from the zoning ordinance section 9.150, parcel number 70, 0316 164, commonly known as 17495 Ridge Avenue. Would you like to talk about this application as well, please?
I think the only thing that I'd like to add to that is that when I got these from Evermarsh, that's the first time I saw that 4-foot setback on the back of that house. And it took me 2 weeks to get these drawings. So I was just a little bit surprised by that. I saw your comments on this too, which sort of leads me to believe that it won't be approved. And the suggestions you made, I think we can live with. You know,
Why were you surprised when you saw the
because I
rendering?
thought he would center it more in the lot.
Okay,
You know, 4 feet is not much. You know, and in fact, I don't think it's from you to me here. It's less than that. And just in my experience, I've been doing construction for about 40 years. I've never seen anybody approve that. So I was a little surprised. I wish he had discussed it with me, because then I would probably have told him to push it more to the middle to make it palatable. But I'm sorry that I was really pushing them hard, and they kept telling me, well, I don't have anybody to do it for 2 weeks. So, which I lost out on November's meeting because of that. I just didn't have the material ready. But the suggestions, yeah, I think we can live with those.
okay. I want to say 2 things. So the first thing is this is a corner lot.
Yes.
So it needs a 25-foot setback from both road frontages, which is probably why the house is pushed up against the eastern edge just, 4 feet. The other thing I will tell you is if we do not approve your variance request tonight, either as it stands written or modified by this board, our disapproval is for an entire year unless you come back and in another meeting, we make a determination that your application is substantially different.
Okay.
And the reason I'm saying that is we've had other people who have come up, they've requested a variance, we tried to work something out, we stopped, we had to deny their request, and then we had to waste an entire meeting, which is basically a month,
Sure.
to come back and say, oh, it looks different, I guess you can be on the next month's meeting. So hearing you say that you're amenable to some of the changes that were proposed by the city's planning consultant is good. I just want to be careful and make sure that you understand.
Sure.
If we deny
I appreciate
it
that.
tonight, it's probably going to take 2 months for you to present something new potentially.
And the new thing that you would see is a different style, a different model of house. It'd be something that would not be as laid out as this one is. It'd be more in the line of the Lane model. So something a little more compact. That's a house that I'm building right now up in Roosevelt Park, and it's 70-foot wide lot by 300 feet deep. And this house worked perfectly on it. And so we thought we'd try it on this one, but when I started seeing the setbacks, I sort of thought, well,
I have to tell you, and I'll state this on public record, that in the last month's meeting, I believe we approved a variance with a 5-foot 4-inch setback from one of the corners. So, you know, this is less than, but it's still within the realm of something we have passed before.
okay.
Um,
I'm just letting you know that I understood what was going on here, and so I started a Plan B.
Okay. So I'm going to take the opportunity to actually read in the recommendation, just so it's on the record. Bear with me a second. I'm
Mhm.
looking for that piece of paper.
Want mine?
Thank you. Yep. So the changes that the planning consultant recommended basically was that a rear setback of 4 feet is too narrow to be consistent with the intent of the ordinance, specifically the RG2 district, which is what the parcel fits in, and that all 6 standards are therefore not met. If Ridge Avenue were designated as the primary front, the east setback would only be 10 feet rather than 30. So if the house were reoriented, then, you know, the setbacks would change on the corner. A setback of 10 feet would be something we could consider, but the
Okay.
4-foot, the planning consultant is saying that's not reasonable. You stated you would be willing to possibly swap this house's model with another one. Is your knowledge of what that model, what envelope that would consume good enough for you to propose an update to this and for us to vote on what?
Do you want to see a copy of it? I brought one with me.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. It's somewhere, yeah.
Oh.
So the question is there a reason there's a 25-foot setback on Ridge and Lane? The reason is this is a corner lot, and so the ordinance says that the front setback of the house or the side, anything on a road is a frontage, it has to be 25 feet. So if we push the house closer to the road, then we would need a variance for those areas as well.
It's more similar to the one on Lane.
So the house proposed right now has an envelope of 64 feet wide by 28 feet deep. And the house that we might be swapping it out with has a width of 32 feet and a depth of 35 or 36 feet.
So yeah, these houses would be similar. That this is.
Yeah, it seems like the house that's on Lane could fit into that envelope. Like if it was similar to that.
So we have the option, I believe we could table it to the next meeting. We could deny it and then have to go through the process of determining substantial difference. Or we could grant a variance on that property that matches the variance we just granted on the previous parcel. I don't know, Craig, can you think of any other options?
I'm okay with tabling it. because actually the Lane one was the one we were gonna start on. And so I could talk to Abermarsh and get a new drawing showing that model being on here, if it give us some clarity to the whole thing, which might make it easier to address it.
Can I ask a question too? So on this picture, on our thing from Dave, is this driveway in their building? Like, is that
Yes.
their building envelope? So they're gonna have to redo their driveway?
Yeah, it's a U driveway, horseshoe driveway, so
Okay.
they're gonna have to lose one leg of it.
Yeah.
We have the stakes out there. Abermarsh staked it out for us.
I was just surprised how
corners.
much that driveway was in the other property.
And nobody
already.
at the church knows about that until they got out there and saw it. He did not ask.
Originally, it was all one parcel, then the
Okay,
two parcels on Ridge and Lane got split off into the house.
gotcha.
That is, I was going to say, I thought that was all originally one unit about 10 years ago. Or I should say, one parcel maybe.
To answer your question, Mr. Cook, I'm not sure tabling, it could be tabled. The request would have to be the same or something to approve it less than what's being proposed right now. It can be greater.
Which is what I think your intent is, that the house you would re-propose would be smaller in
In
envelope
footprint.
size than the current one.
And then the footprint would be smaller. To help with setbacks, to ease the situation with them.
If the house can be moved towards Lane, why wouldn't you do that? Just ask for variance on the front? Or is that a right of way that you can't? I mean, I don't know. You
Yeah,
have
I
what?
put these on based on,
You have
their
25 feet up
experience,
there.
right.
Yeah. The only
But-
problem then, it doesn't line up with the other house. I don't know if that matters.
well, that's one thing we were trying to also do, is that these two houses would be, have a different look in each of them, and we were trying to find something that would complement the Lane house. And actually, well, after talking to the proposed owner, she thought this would be a better fit for her than the other house.
She
other house
thought the
had-
house proposed would be the best for her?
The one that you have up there, yeah.
Okay.
This one was more or less, she felt she didn't have a whole lot of input. It was with our other executive director. He has since retired, and we have a new one, but she just got too excited about getting a new house and, said, yeah, that'll work.
Mhm.
But after looking at that one, she thinks it'll be better for her needs. So might be able to kill two birds with one stone.
So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the parcels close to your property, and I see that the neighboring parcel, if you can believe the measurements in this GIS application, their garage is 5 feet away from the parcel boundary. There's another parcel just immediately south that appears their garage is directly on the parcel line. So I'm saying that because 4 feet is close to the line, but there are other parcels that are non-conforming. Sure, they were probably built before the zoning ordinance was put in place. A lot of houses in the area are older. Jim's idea of potentially just shifting the house over to the left, closer to Lane Avenue, and potentially giving you a variance on the 25-foot setback to Lane Avenue could be something that we could consider,
Okay.
possibly tonight. Let me ask a question. Have we,
We're looking at the four.
we can't do anything else?
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I had seen this before he sent it to me, which I did, but not, I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure I got in. I mean, Craig can tell you, I got in at the last minute for the meeting. I would have had him do something with it, but I didn't want to change anything at this point until I talked to you guys.
Well, so we could table it, he could come back next month as long as he's not requesting a variance closer than 4 feet. We
Correct.
could bring back a different drawing.
We can move that, you know, so it won't be that anymore either.
The applicant
I-
stated that he's gonna start the other house first, so there's really
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
Correct.
And
some of the
then
stuff
I can, this time I can sort of guide Abermarsh to what we want or what would be acceptable. And then see if we're gonna be in violation of any of the other setbacks.
the board could table it tonight, and if there's something substantially different than was being proposed, we could have to motion to deny it at the next table and talk about a new public hearing.
A motion?
Yeah, let's get a motion.
I would motion to table, because I think you're okay with that, and then you can bring us back something that might work
Yep.
better, as
Yep.
long as it's not closer than 4 feet.
Well, either that, I will have time to, I could talk to Craig about it and just, you know, see, okay, what don't you like about this? I'll have time to
Mm-hmm.
move things around
Sure.
and get them more, so you guys don't have to make such a hard decision.
Looks like we
So-
approved the other one.
So
we
I
get started.
support the motion to table it.
Roll call, please.
Board Member Holly,
Yes.
Board Member Menrick,
Yes.
Board Member Cook,
Yes, motion carries.
motion passed.
I do appreciate you coming out on such a nasty little night to address this.
Happy to
The
be
funnest
here.
thing to do.
Thanks for your
So-
time.
Thank you, I appreciate it very much.
Look forward to seeing your houses, or your house so far.
I got some work to do on those too, to get it by the building department.
Agenda item number 9, reports or comments from the ZBA members and/or the zoning administrator.
No report?
I am replacing Mr. DeWitt as the council representative to the Zoning Board of Appeals. We also have a new member tonight, Mr. Jim Menrick, so welcome.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
Let's go. Oh,
Oh,
oh wait, yes. Guys, not me. Never mind.
there was there, yeah, that one.